Hey everyone, I'm your host, Eric. Let's talk about that feeling. You know the one? That kind of creeping anxiety that seems to hit you right in your 30s? That little voice that says you're falling behind? But what if I told you that you're not the one who's off track? What if the track itself, the entire game board, has been completely redrawn? Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. I want you to ask yourself this one simple question. And seriously, just take a second and actually think about it. What were your parents doing when they were your age?
For a lot of them, right, their lives probably looked a lot like that list on the left. They were married, they had a mortgage, a super stable job, maybe a kid or two on the way. The path was pretty much set. Now, look at our reality. We're exploring different careers, renting is just the norm, and buying a house? That can feel like a total fantasy. This huge gap between their 30s and our 30s, well, that's where all the anxiety comes from.
And that, right there, brings us to the real heart of the problem. It feels like we're all trying to navigate this completely new, modern world, but we're using an old, totally outdated map from our parents' generation. So it's really no wonder we feel so lost all the time.
You know, there's actually a name for this whole experience. Sociologists call it emerging adulthood. It's basically this longer phase of exploration that now stretches way into our 30s. So that feeling you have of being kinda in between, it's not just in your head. It's a real, documented shift in society.
So, how did we even get here? Well, it pretty much boils down to three huge changes in society. First off, the economy is just completely different. The days of a stable, lifelong job, the iron rice bowl, are basically gone. Now it's all about the gig economy and constant change. Second, we're in school for way longer, and a lot of us start our careers with a mountain of debt which pushes all those big financial goals further down the road. And third, our values have shifted. We're not just trying to check boxes anymore. We want to find the right partner, the right job. We're looking for meaning and purpose, not just a deadline.
Just understanding that these shifts happened is the first real step to freeing yourself from that anxiety. And this brings us to a super important turning point in how we think about this. It's not about you failing. It's about realizing the game itself is completely different now.
Okay, I want you to let this sink in, because it's probably the most important message you'll hear today. You haven't failed. You are not behind. You're just playing a brand new game with a totally new set of rules. And what does that mean? It means we need a new way to keep score.
All right, so if the old map is useless, how do we start drawing a new one? What are the modern milestones that actually show growth and success in the world we live in today? Let's take a look at what those are. The shift is actually pretty clear when you see it laid out like this. The old milestones, they were all about external things, what you own, a house, a fancy job title. But the new milestones, they're internal. They're all about who you are becoming. It's a huge change from focusing on ownership to focusing on personal development. Let's break each of these down.
So first up, financial independence. And notice it doesn't say financial wealth. The goal here isn't to be rich, it's about being in control. It means you can pay your own bills, you've got an emergency fund for when life happens, and you're actually putting money away for your future. That sense of control, that is a true pillar of security in adulthood today.
Next, let's talk about building a career path instead of just having a job. Look, a job can just be a paycheck, right? Trading your time for money. A career, though, that's an intentional journey. Are you learning new skills? Are you building a network? Are you moving towards goals that actually matter to you in the long run? That's the real way to measure if you're maturing professionally.
Now this next one is a really big shift. In the past, becoming an adult meant you start a nuclear family. But today, a critical sign of maturity is cultivating a chosen family, those super close friends who are your real support system. Intentionally building and nurturing a few deep, reliable friendships, that is an incredible asset in modern life.
And finally, proactive self-care. This is all about taking full ownership of your well-being, both physical and mental. And it's not just about, going to the gym. It's about recognizing when you're stressed out or struggling, and then actually doing something about it, whether that's talking to a friend or a therapist. Admitting you need help isn't a weakness. It's a huge sign of adult strength.
Okay, so we've got our new map and we've got our new milestones. That's awesome. But how do we actually start walking that path? Let's talk about some real practical steps you can literally take right now.
Here's a super simple 3-step guide to get you started. Number 1, manage your money like you're the CFO of your own life. Get really clear on where your money is going. Number 2, manage your career like it's your most important project. Set goals, learn new things, and check in on how you're doing. And number 3, actively nurture your support system. Deep friendships don't just happen by accident. You got to put in the effort.
So as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with one last really powerful idea. It's all about giving yourself the permission to run your own race at your own pace.
We've all heard this phrase before, right? Oh, but you're still so young. Sometimes it feels a little dismissive, like people are brushing you off. But let's flip that. Let's reclaim it. Think of it not as a dismissal, but as this gentle, powerful reminder. You are still young. 30 isn't some finish line you were supposed to cross. It's a new starting line. You have so much time ahead of you to learn, to grow, and to build the life that you actually want.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Looking at those 4 new milestones, financial independence, a career path, your chosen family, and self-care, which one is the first one you want to focus on? What's the first step you can take on your own unique map, starting today? And that's all for today's Explainer. If this helped you reframe your own journey even just a little bit, please hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe share it with a friend who needs to hear this too. And hey, if there's a book or a big idea you want us to break down next, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric, and I'll see you next time.